Hello there, 705. I cannot believe we're here to my final 705 goodbye, end of 7th grade video. So I'm very sentimental. I like a kind of full circle thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start where we started with my first day of school Google Slides presentation with some of the things I said then, and I just want to reflect on them now. So, on the first day of school, I talked about my philosophy of education, which is how I think about education and it informs why I'm a teacher. Okay, so to begin, I started with this Michelle Obama quote, which was empower yourselves with a good education and then get out there and use that education to build a country worthy of your boundless promise. Of course, this is still one of my favorite quotes ever. As a reminder, it means that the way I think about education, right, is that you should and you can empower yourselves, meaning give yourself power with a good education, and then use that power to make the country a better place, a country that's worthy of you. And I still feel that very strongly today. Similarly, we have Nelson Mandela's quote, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And then a quote by Pablo Freire. I'll read in Spanish, so those of you who can speak Spanish can get a kick out of my inability to speak Spanish. La educación no cambia el mundo, cambia a las personas que van a cambiar el mundo. Okay, education does not change the world, it changes the people who change the world. And as I wrote, education gives people power, and I believe you will use that power to make the world more just or more fair. So I just don't think there's a time more relevant than right now to be reflecting on this philosophy of education I hold and how I think about education. We're in quite a time in the world at the moment, and we are seeing pretty significant change. We're seeing protests and riots and uprisings following the murder of George Floyd and also Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. Really, but not just, of course, them. We're seeing an uprising responding to the police brutality and systemic racism that we have in the United States. And it's been scary, but right now, and it's okay if you're not feeling this way now or if you never do, I'm starting to feel fairly inspired by it. I have a different social media following than I'm sure most of you do, since I'm older than you and from a different place. I have college friends, I have high school friends, elementary school friends, my parents' friends on Facebook and Instagram who are seeming to care about police brutality, about Black Lives Matter in a way I've never seen before. I've seen some who have seemed to always care, but it's been a significant upturn. See, if you look at lots of book websites, books by African American authors, about race, they're off the charts in the past week. So I think this is a time where I see change might come. And at least something of this is progress. Now, doesn't mean we should have to go through this. It definitely doesn't mean you should have to go through this. But I feel like this is a time where I'm seeing that people are becoming aware, people are becoming educated, and people are using the education they have, and not just the education, but some people are using the education to plan protests, to be impacting their offices, their workspaces, to try to make a better world. And I really, really believe that you will do that. Also, just worth mentioning, of course, this is also the time of coronavirus, right? Why we're not together right now. Yeah, and I won't try to comfort that or that loss. But I see opportunities for a more just world, a more just healthcare system. So much better that can happen. And some people starting to see that in a new way. So I hope that you're seeing that, and you continue to think about the ways that education does give people power, both kind of structurally, the systems we live in, having an education like a traditional school education gives people power in the world, gives people money. But then there's also the education that you can get from reading, from researching, from YouTube videos, from just being engaged and interested in the world, that gives people power to make the world a better place. And after knowing you all for the past year, I feel without a doubt that you will use that power to make the world a better place and make it more just. So I hope to see you do that. And I know you can. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to reflect on was my commitments to you. I had you look at your Dear Math letters, think about what you said about math in the beginning of the year, and then reflecting about how you feel now. So this is, you can some degree think about it that way for me, but with teaching. So I told you that I will hold you to high academic expectations because I know you can accomplish them, and because the world needs you. I do believe that's something I've done to the best that I can and done fairly well, is try to hold you to high academic expectations. That's looked differently given coronavirus, given what's going on. We need to have reasonable high expectations. But I hope you think that, and I do feel that I have done that. And I would say my encouragement for you all to continue trying to learn this summer is built on that idea that I do believe you can achieve a lot. And I want you to achieve a lot and learn a lot and know a lot because I think the world needs you. And I know you can do all those things. Okay, for my second one, I will treat you with kindness and respect. And if you ever think I'm not, please respectfully tell me, and I will take responsibility for it. So I don't think in every moment of this year I have treated all my students with kindness and respect. I can think of moments where I let my emotions and my frustration get the best of me. There was a lot this year that I wasn't necessarily prepared for, largely, frankly, with the kind of like disrespect and lack of kindness that people treated me with. But my core belief that I told you then, and I still believe, is that that doesn't matter. That it's no good happens from being rude back to someone who's rude to you. I do think that when I have crossed that line, I have taken responsibility for it, but you might feel like there are moments when I haven't, and I just want to tell you now, if that was the case, I do apologize. I did the best I could this year, and I do respect all of you, and I tried to and hope to continue to try to treat you with the kindness and respect that you deserve. Okay, my third one. I am not cool. I was never cool. I will embarrass myself for your entertainment, and more so you might feel comfortable to go outside of your comfort zone and take risks in this classroom and outside of it. Well, I can definitely still say I'm not cool. That didn't change. And I do feel like that's something I've lived up to. To me, this was a lot talking about the song of the week, which I'm excited to hear your feedback about in the end of the year survey. I think it's important in 7th grade, which is a very hard year, period. If it wasn't for you, fantastic, but generally that's a very hard year for people. There's so much social pressure, you're trying to figure out who you are, and it's so easy to feel like you need to conform and be something that you might not be. And I hope to model for you that, it's okay to be yourself, it's okay to be silly, it's okay to be bad at things and still do them anyway if they make you happy. And, to be able to put up with a little bit of criticism when you're being yourself. And I hope I helped the best I could. You saw that from me this year. I had a good time in the process, but I hope you remember that lesson as you have a lot of more years of your life until it becomes a lot easier to stop caring what people think. So as you continue to do that, I hope with the best of you can, you try to remember that you're fantastic people just as you are, and the world deserves exactly who you are. And lastly, I will be far from perfect, but I will try my best to be the teacher you deserve. And trust me, I know it was far from perfect this year. I, can think of lots of bad moments, lots of bad days. But I absolutely tried my best to be the best teacher for you all every day. And I hope you saw that. I hope you saw me never really giving up, even for hard times. And I hope you see me learn and grow as I saw you learn and grow this year. This was my first year teaching in like a full all by myself sense. And you all eventually knew that, I would say. But yeah, there's nothing in many ways I could do about a lot of the mistakes I think I made when I look back on it. There's a lot of things I would have done differently, but there's a lot of things I know that I didn't know how to do differently at the time. And I think that's okay to admit. I think it's important for me to be honest with you and to be honest with myself that I had a lot to learn this year, and I think I learned a lot. I think at the end of the day, you still learned a lot too. I think you learned a lot of math, and I think you learned a lot of other stuff. So I have a lot of growth that I look forward to doing. I'm sorry you got me at this stage in my life, but I'm so thankful you were part of it. Even when we had some bad moments together, I'm thankful so much for the year. And I'm thankful for you. So, without further ado, let me just tell you a little bit about the wonderful people that you are, that I've had the pleasure of getting to know this year. All right, so what I'm going to do is go through each of you, just in alphabetical order by last name, and tell you a few things that I've learned and come to appreciate about you this year. Okay, so first we have Antoinette. Antoinette, you are always willing to help me out, to help out a friend. You're so kind, and you pick things up very, very quickly. It's been a joy teaching you this year, and I am so thankful to have had you as my student. Eli, you have such a huge heart. You have shown so much growth this year. It's hard for me even to describe it. Believe in yourself, because you can go places. I'm so thankful to have you as my student. Janai, you have such a strong desire to fight for justice, and that is such an amazing quality and will make you do so much good in the world. And you work really hard too, so it's a wonderful combination, and I'm so thankful to have had you as my student this year. Cameron, you have such a kind heart. You grasp concepts in math incredibly quickly, and you really are just a really good young man. And I hope you believe in yourself, because you can do a lot of good in the world, and I can't wait to see it. I'm so thankful to have had you as my student. Aaliyah, you are so mature, you're so responsible, you're a hard worker, you're inclusive, you bring everyone in, you're a fantastic presence to have in the classroom, and I'm so thankful that you were my student this year. Nahima, you're such a friendly, welcoming person, and you're a calming presence in a class that wasn't always calming. I loved having you in class, and I'm so thankful that you were in my class this year. Orlando, you too have a kind heart and are an incredibly calming presence. I hope you continue to believe in yourself, because you can do so much great in the world, and I can't wait to see it. I'm so thankful that I had you in my class this year. Jaden, you're a very funny person. Very funny. You're a very good friend, and I love that you're yourself always, and unapologetically. That's an amazing, amazing thing. I am so thankful to have had you as my student this year. Jan, you're a very, very funny person. You're very kind, and you can be a really, really hard worker most of the time. And I really saw that this year, at the end of this year. You've made a ton of growth, a ton of progress, and I'm so thankful you were my student this year. Luigi, you have such a big heart. You've made remarkable progress and growth this year, and you really were just awesome in the past few months. I am so, so glad that you were my student. Anthony, you are truly a community-focused person. You're willing to prioritize others' needs over yourself, take one for the team, in a way that's really unique and very, very special. You can take responsibility for your actions and have very reasonable, responsible, respectful conversations in a way that a lot of 7th graders cannot. I'm so thankful you were my student this year. Kasim, you work really hard, you try hard, and you're very, very clever. You can definitely make me and a lot of people laugh. I'm so thankful you were my student this year. Michael, you're such a kind person, and you're incredibly calming, fun presence to have in the class. It was so great getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were my student this year. Giselle, you've made so much progress this year. It's been a wonderful, beautiful thing to make you see. You have a good, warm, caring heart, and it was lovely getting to know you. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Jinsel, you're inclusive, you're welcoming, and you have a very, very good heart. I hope you continue to believe in yourself. I believe in you. I'm so glad I got to know you this year. I'm so thankful you were in my class. Karai, you've worked so hard this year in my class. You've learned a lot. You've showed great growth. You pick up skills very, very quickly. And you're reasonable and mature most of the time in a way that's very, very special. I'm so thankful you were in my class. Melanie, you're very kind. You're very funny. And again, a calming, positive presence to have in the classroom. And I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Ethan, you are very good at math and very funny, and even when I don't want to admit it. I am very glad I got to know you this year, and I'm very thankful you were in my class. Ivy, you have a huge heart. You're always incredibly kind to me and looking out for me in a special way, and you've made a lot of progress this year. It's been fantastic to see. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Jalen, you are responsible, you are a natural leader, and you have worked so hard this year, and I can't wait to see where all that takes you. It was so great getting to know you. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Rosary, you are kind, you're welcoming, and you've worked hard this year. You're a lovely person. It was really, really great getting to know you and seeing the positive presence that you were in my classroom. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Sabri, you have such a big heart. You always make me laugh, always. And you are very reasonable and can accept responsibility for things in a way that's special, and I have truly appreciated that. It's been lovely getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Jenny, it's been so nice having you in my class this year. You have always been very kind to me. You can accept responsibility for your actions and your choices, and you can make really good ones. And I'm so glad you were in my class this year. Lajay, you have a desire to fight for justice. You're mature, you're wise, and you've worked pretty hard, and you've been incredibly respectful and mature when thinking about me and about our classroom, and I've been very thankful for that this year and to have you as my student. Isaiah, you went out of your way this year to help me out, to clean up after me and your class. You've worked hard, you've learned a lot, and you pick things up very quickly. It's been so lovely getting to know you this year, and I am so thankful you were in my class this year. 705, it's been quite a year together, and you were never easy, but you were pretty wonderful a lot of the time. You have an energy and generally a kindness to me and to each other, which has been really special to witness. You have absolutely seen my worst, or what I think is my worst. But you've also seen some of my best, and I've grown so much getting to know you all and teach you all and learn from you all. And I hope you feel the same. You should. I know a lot of you learned a ton this year. You worked very hard. You're even better versions of yourself than the version I met on the first day of school. And you're definitely smarter versions of yourself. It's been a joy. We had a lot of time together this year, a lot of time. And I'm so sad that I didn't get to say goodbye to you in person. I didn't get to stand on that chair one more time, check to make sure you were sitting on the desks. But you better come upstairs when you're allowed to be next year and come say hi. I will miss you. I hope you have good summers, and I'll see you next year. Thanks for a great year, 705.